Okay, so yeah, I know this video is being recorded really late, but I woke up a lot later than I wanted to because the draft was yesterday and I had to really get some rest. Today we're talking about Jake Virtanen because the Vancouver Canucks have placed him on unconditional waivers for the purpose of a buyout. Now, what we're going to do here is just go over the reasons as to why this was done, and kind of try to separate it from the entire legal case that's going on right here. I already said a few weeks ago when we had the announcement of an investigation with Virtanen, these things are really serious, man, so I'm not going to go out there and make any big statements or whatever until we have an official hearing from the court, until there's a big conclusion made, because as of right now, at least to my knowledge, we don't have a conclusion yet. I will say this, though, if everything turns out to be confirmed and it's all true, absolutely despicable behavior, doesn't deserve to be in the league. We all can kind of agree on that if it is true. Before we continue, though, I will say this one more time. If you live here in Vancouver, and I said this in the previous video, if you live in Vancouver, you know people in this community, word gets around quickly as to Vancouver Canucks and their personalities, so I'm just going to leave it at that over here. You can try to deduce why I even included this kind of discussion. So, we're going to be talking about Virtanen. They bought him out here today. He was making 2.55 AAV until 2022, meaning that the buyout will take the contract until 2023 with a cap hit of $500,000. So, right away, biggest thing the Vancouver Canucks are getting here in a Jake Virtanen buyout is cap space. $2 million of cap savings this year and a $500,000 penalty for next year. They kind of need cap space right now, man. Garland, Dickinson, Pettersson, Hughes, they do need all the money they can get. Furthermore, Jake Virtanen, who is this guy? Well, he's a guy that hasn't really improved this entire tenure he has had in Vancouver. He's coming off of a terrible season, 5 goals in 38 games played, 0 assists. He had 36 points in 69 games last year, and a lot of people were saying, oh, this is kind of like, the breakout party for Virtanen. He was almost at 20 goals. He's going to be here. He's going to start producing and whatnot, but he ended up completely falling behind. Now, to be fair, a lot of Canucks started falling behind in 2020, 2021. But Jake Virtanen certainly was in that ballpark as well. He's 24, turning 25, meaning that the clock is ticking for this guy, and what his actual development curve is going to be like. We've heard the same things year after year. Oh, he's going to get better. He's going to become the force in the playoffs like we want him to be. Well, guess what? Playoff Jake Virtanen showed up in the bubble last year, wasn't really all too effective. He had one good game against St. Louis, and that was pretty much it. So this is a guy that really has stalled in terms of his development. The contract is holding the Canucks back. He wasn't locked in for a top spot on the team, especially with the new acquisitions on the roster. Garland, Dickinson, Podkolzin, adding on to Niels Höglander, Bo Horvat, Pearson, and the Lotto line. This guy was not even guaranteed to be having a top 9 spot on the team. So, what do? $2.5 million in your bottom 6 for a guy who's declining and whom we're all saying is going to be developing into a better hockey player, but he just simply is not? Buy the guy out, save $2 million in cap space, use some of those extra dollars to sign Dickinson, P.D. Hughes, or Connor Garland, and go about your way. The Jake Virtanen saga has been a strange one here in Vancouver, because you have so many people that love to go about there and defend this guy to no end. And to be fair, the profile, the promises, what we all thought Virtanen could be, was incredible on paper. It's just the execution, watching the development of this guy, it didn't come to fruition. So the Vancouver Canucks had so many reasons to go out there and actually buy this guy out, and I think maybe the court stuff, the legal stuff, I don't want to say it's completely unrelated to the buyout decision. I think at the very least there has to be some consideration for it, but either way though, it's not like Virtanen's profile was that worth keeping around anyway. So talk to me in the comments what you think about the Virtanen buyout. I hope you enjoyed this British Rolls 99, and bye.